retired Air Force Colonel Jim Hollingsworth. I'm the chairman of the board at Keesler Federal and a member of the Gulf Coast Gold Star Families Project team that orchestrated bringing this monument to the coast. Today, Keesler Federal, the city of Biloxi, and Harrison County give this monument and the grounds as a gift to the community and to recognize those that have served in our military, those who made the ultimate sacrifice, but especially to all the Gold Star family members that have endured the loss of a loved one in the service of their country. The dedication today is special for all of us. It comes with speeches that share emotion, ceremonies, and symbolism to remind us of our past, our future, and where we stand as Americans today. It comes with the special purpose of remembering and honoring those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for the country, and today especially recognizing the families that continue to endure the loss. I know we have a lot of veterans that are here today, myself included. I would like to remind them that as a result of the change to the Defense Authorization Act of 2009, military retirees and veterans may now render the hand salute with the national anthem in the same manner as they did when they were on active duty. You have earned that privilege. So ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the colors. Remain standing for the national anthem, the Pledge of Allegiance, and the invocation. At this time, I invite the Ocean Springs Junior ROTC to bring the colors forward.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, those broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thanks, Chris. At this time, I'd like to invite 6-year-old Elira Jean to come to the front with us to lead the Pledge of Allegiance. And we're going to help. Accompanied by our Gold Star mother, Reagan, or perhaps not, maybe she's sold. There she comes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. That was very well done. And now we'll have the chaplain step forward, please, to give the dedication and bless the branches.
I'd like you to pray with me if you'd like. God our Father, who command the heavenly host, as we gather here today to dedicate this monument to the memory of all of those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice serving our country, and especially to their family members. We begin by thanking you for bringing this monument to fruition. We know that so much time and effort has been poured into making this monument a reality today, and so we are so thankful. We thank you, God, for inspiring selfless service in so many of our brothers and sisters, and we beg you to keep safe all those who to this day continue to serve. We thank you, Father, for the families and friends of those who have served, especially for the many Gold Star family members throughout the Gulf Coast who are here with us today, who have also sacrificed so much and been thanked so little. We ask now, Father, that your blessing descend upon these grounds, that you make it a sacred place for remembrance and gratitude, and that you keep us always aware of and thankful for those who have put their own lives on hold, so that we may continue in peace with our own. Finally, Lord, we pray for an end to all wars. We pray for the peace that you alone can give. And so as we dedicate this monument today, we rededicate ourselves to the task of doing our part, to bringing about that peace, remembering that freedom is never free. We ask this as we ask all good things in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Please be seated. Well, thank you everyone for coming for this unveiling and dedication today as we honor our very special guests, the Gold Star families of the Gulf Coast, who will be introduced shortly. In addition to our Gold Star families, we have several distinguished guests who have come here today to show their support. The monument will be unveiled as the design of the #1 proponent for all of these Gold Star family monuments across the United States is World War Medal of Honor winner, right here in our front row, Herschel Woody Williams, and we'll hear from Woody later today. But he is a World War II Medal of Honor winner, and we are so honored to have Woody with us this morning. Also here today is Biloxi Mayor Fofo Gillish and his wife Serena. And Mayor, I'll give you the opportunity here. I know you would like to say something.
I can't go without this opportunity. I want to thank everyone, the Gold Star families, and you can see this is a very special place. You know, both colonels, they're very because I think, I'll give you a great round of thanks and the whole crew that put all this together took a lot of sacrifice, but you're all great thing. I told you it wasn't going to rain, didn't I tell you that?
You were right.
Thanks to everyone. All right.
Thank you, Mayor. Mrs. Peterson's here today with us. General Peterson couldn't be, but we appreciate you coming out this morning. Thank you. Also, Brigadier General retired Rich Moss and his wife Susie. Biloxi City Administrator, retired Colonel Mike Leonard and his wife Shauna. Colonel Jeffrey Van Duding, commander of the 403rd Wing, and his wife Diana and nephew Anthony. Colonel Chase Gary and his family from the 81st Training Wing Command. And Andy Swager, our CEO and the wonderful leader of Keesler Federal Credit Union, his wife Renee, son Eli, and daughter Layla. Hello. And to all our commanders and officers enlisted have come out today to show their support to Gold Star families. Thank you so much. There are so many people to thank for the participation and support in this project, and this would not have been possible without that full support. Of course, Major Fofo for providing the ongoing support to veterans and Gold Star families, and for making this incredible location available for Gold Stars, and also to the Harrison County Board of Supervisors and the Biloxi City Council as well. The city administrator, of course, Colonel Mike Leonard, who is my cohort in crime here in making this work, could not have done it without you. He was a magician in making this all happen, and a great teammate. Thank you very much, Mike. To Andy Swagger, who brought this project to my attention. He jumped right away and said, is this something that we think that the members of Keesler Federal would support? He knew the answer in advance, but he did bring it forward, and I said, we really appreciate that. And thanks to the board of directors that are here today, and to all of you that are Keesler Federal members that really have made this monument possible today for the funding. So thank you so much. To Diane Moore, who is a promoter of the monument and helped design the monuments and great panels that you're going to see a little while later that depict the Gulf Coast. They're all localized, and I think you're really going to enjoy seeing them. She had help along the way from Tessa Reddy, Jane Green, and Carol Brown, who are also here. And thanks to my other team members who were instrumental in organizing the project setup, preparing the grounds for the monument, and orchestrating today's events. They spent many hours putting this together. Nell Schmidt, who's our project coordinator from Keesler Federal. Robert Pagoda, who is the logistics coordinator, and his team, who did a whole lot of groundwork getting this ready today. So thanks to them. And of course, none of this would have happened without the foundation. Thanks to CEO Chad Graham and Mike King from the Herschel Woody Williams Foundation for their help in coordinating the project. Without the Medal of Honor Foundation, Gold Star Families monuments, such as the one that you'll see, would not be possible. If you look back over years, these type of things have somehow faded away decade after decade, and it's time for that to end. And Woody is the perfect gentleman to make that move forward. And so far, he has brought forth 58 of these monuments across the United States, and they wouldn't be there if they wouldn't be for Woody. So again, Woody, thank you so much. The foundation sometimes spends months and years trying to help raise the funds for these monuments and finding and securing the grounds that are suitable for a monument like this. And I can say they certainly found the location for it. There's no doubt about that. This has to be one of the premier in the nation. This project was different for them, though. It was kind of the perfect combination of coming together with really lightning speed. Keesler Federal Credit Union, the city of Biloxi, and Harrison County all joined forces to make the monument a reality. This project recognizes those that have the honor that no one wants, and that is of being a Gold Star family member who has suffered and continues to suffer the loss of a loved one in the service of their country. It serves as a reminder again that freedom is indeed not free. For them, the pain does not go away, and neither should our appreciation of their personal sacrifices. And now I would like to introduce those we have come to honor today, the Gold Star families. There's an old saying that you die twice. You die once when you take your last breath, and the second time you die is when your name is no longer spoken. These families have suffered an incredible loss of their loved ones. Their loved ones should never be forgotten, nor should their name never be spoken again. So at this time, I'd like to invite each immediate family Gold Star member, if they're so inclined, to stand to introduce themselves as Nell brings around the microphone and speak their lost one's name and their branch of service.
I am Diane Moore, the daughter of Chief Master Sergeant Thomas Moore, United States Air Force, captured in Vietnam, 10/31/65.
Raven Gibbs, wife of Matthew Gibbs, KIA 2005, and Thomas Lyons, in the line of duty 2009.
I'm Joyce Lloyd, mother of Captain James Bernard Blackman Jr., United States Marine Corps, Naval Aviator, Marine Aviator, date of death, January 17th, 2002, left a wife and a grandson.
I'm Peggy Barker Blanchard, grandmother of Sergeant Lee Robert Mills, Marine Corps, killed in Iraq, May 30th, 2006.
I'm Joey Roberts, stepfather of Senior Airman Elizabeth Lonkey, killed in action January 7th, 2007 in Iraq, along with two of her team, Tech Sergeant Tim Weiner and Senior Airman Dan Miller.
I'm Jill Hubbs. I'm the daughter of Navy Commander Donald Richard Hubbs, who is still missing in action since March 17, 1968.
I'm Tessa Reddy, wife of Jesse E. Reddy, USN, date of death January 11th, 2016.
I'm the niece of Chief Master Sergeant Thomas Moore, missing in action, POW, 1965, October 31st.
Now, we want to pronounce it.
I'm Michelle Lavata, twin sister of Major Michael Green, killed in action January 2008.
I'm Serena Savage Gillage. My uncle, Julius Savage, was shot down in 1943 over Italy.
Okay, Jan York. My son is Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Mark Stratton. Afghanistan, May the 26th, 2009.
Hello, my name is Claudia Baldwin. My husband was born in the Republic of Panama and proudly served the United States Navy as a builder chief, CV Combat Warfare. CV Joel Egan Baldwin. He was killed in action in Mosul, Iraq, December 21st, 2004. He left a beautiful daughter named Callie, and he now has a granddaughter named Mila.
I'm Billy McCaslin, father of Specialist John McCaslin, passed April 1st, 2018.
I'm Jaden Barron, daughter of Brian Barron, killed in action, Iraq, May 23rd, 2005.
I'm Ann Hamilton, sister of Staff Sergeant James W. Davis. He was in the Air Force. He was killed in Laos on March 11th, 1968. Remains never found or returned.
I'm Laura Cooley, wife of Master Sergeant Sean Cooley, killed in action in Iraq, February 3rd, 2005.
I'm Cindy Stonebreaker. I'm the daughter of Lieutenant Colonel Kenneth Stonebreaker, missing in action over North Vietnam, October 28, 1968.
My name is Johnny Graves, United States Army retired. I'm the nephew of Chief Master Sergeant Thomas Moore, missing in action 31 October 1965.
My name is Lori Washington, surviving mother of Specialist Patrick D. Washington, killed on base at Army base Fort Seal, Lawton, Oklahoma, May 2014. He left a wife, a 5-year-old, and a 5-week-old little girl.
I'm Allison Gates, mother of Chief Petty Officer Kenneth Gates, U.S. Navy. Died April 21, 2016. Emily Crowder. My first husband died in 1968 in 1st Cavalry, in the 2nd Tour in Vietnam. This is my daughter, Janet, who was 11 years old when her dad died. And I have 3 younger children. I was 31 years old and I was left to weather with 4 little ones. Now we have 5 great-grandchildren that he never had a chance to meet.
My brother, Tech Sergeant Daniel J. Butler, was a gunner of B-17. Shot down on August 17, 1943, over Schweinfurt, Germany. My mother didn't spend it. One day of her life. But she didn't carry on. I wear the star that my mother wore.
My name is Elizabeth Dillard. My daughter was Rihanna Nicole Dillard, Air Force. She died August the 1st, 2016.
I'm Danny Guice Jr. with my cousin Jeff Guice. We're here remembering our uncle, Lieutenant William Lee Guice, out of World War II, United States Navy.
I'm Janice Morrissey, mother of Sean Michael Morrissey, Senior Airman, Air Force, passed away November 17th, 2014. He lost his battle with depression and took his life.
I'm Gretchen Lederer, here with my daughter Erin. We lost her brother and my son November 2014, November 18th. CM3, Evan Hunter Lederer, U.S. Navy.
Okay, are there any others? 4, okay.
My name's Ashton Belcher. My brother went missing in March of 1969 in the province of South Vietnam. They have never been found.
My name is Margaret Levins. My son, Staff Sergeant Donnie Levins, was killed in a double helicopter crash in Djibouti, Africa, February the 17th of 2006. And I've brought my granddaughter, Kiana, which is Donnie's niece.
My name is Pat Burnsham. I lost my father in the Battle of the Bulge in 1944, December the 26th. His name was William E. Turner, Jr.
My name is Rhonda Cody, daughter of Captain Howard R. Cody, locally from Gulfport, Mississippi, member of the United States Air Force, also a member of the Air Commandos, was stationed in Vietnam. He had been grounded. He had his tickets to return home. He had his new orders to go to Panama. And the pilot that was supposed to fly this particular task was sick. So my dad told him to stay in bed, that he would take it. We lost him. His plane was shot down on November 24th, 1963. They located the fuselage of the airplane. His remains have not been returned nor found. His 2 the two people that were in the plane with him, they were discovered.
I'm Gail Sainamon, the daughter of Leo Camp, who's a sergeant, United States Marines. He was killed in Okinawa on June the 14th, 1945.
Okay, is there anyone else? Earl, thank you very much for your sacrifice. We appreciate that. There's no words that can really go beyond that. We have several speakers today. The first one is a POW MIA daughter and a resident of Biloxi who has raised awareness of the Gulf Star families. Her father, Chief Master Sergeant Thomas Moore, was captured in South Vietnam and listed as missing in action and prisoner of war. So, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Diane Moore.
I am Diane Moore. I'm the oldest child of my parents. My dad, Chief Master Sergeant Thomas Moore, joined the Air Force in 1947. Several stationed here at Keesler. He met my mother in Pascagoula at a dance. They got married at the training chapel on Keesler Air Force Base. I know all of you Gulf Star families, and it is extremely hard to have been forgotten. But we need to educate the public and our communities to remember the families. Those of you out here that are MIA, children, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, there are times in my life that I have lost faith that something will happen and it brings the faith back. I would love to see my father's remains found, repatriated and brought back home so our family can have peace. He was captured. He was a confirmed prisoner of war. And he was not repatriated when they repatriated our POWs and MIAs. The one thing that I would like to ask the audience, remember the families. Remember the families. It is that important to us Gulf Star families that we should not feel forgotten. And those of us from Vietnam, these families were forgotten. We're in your communities, we're in your towns, we're in your states. And until I got involved by being asked, would you like to bring a monument to the Gulf Coast? I was like, I've never done anything like this in my life. And my first meeting with Mike Leonard, Andy, Mayor Fofo, you have no idea the impact that you placed on me. I don't even understand. Taking care of putting the cement in the Placid Arrow. Keesler Federal Credit Union. Mr. Hollingsworth. This man has kept me. I'm not breathing. Saying breathe, Diane, breathe. It is coming. It is coming. And I think Mr. Leonard called me a train without stopping and rolling through. And every little thing that I would think was getting missed, Mr. Leonard and Jim had my six the whole time. I love all of you, each and every one of you, family members, my Air Force family from Keesler Air Force Base, who has took me back under the umbrella of being an Air Force daughter again and making me feel welcome. To the city of Biloxi and the Gulf Coast, where I grew up, this is home. MIA family members have no place to go to lay roses or Christmas trees at a grave. My dad, along with the Vietnam MIAs in here, all we really have is a name and a big wall in DC and a memorial stone in Arlington. The opportunity to have this memorial here for me and hopefully my family is that we do have somewhere to go now. On his birthday, I can come here and put flowers. At Christmas, maybe a little tree. If I need meditation, to sit on the bench and just meditate in this beautiful paradise that we live in. So thank all of you for being here and showing the support for us families. And just remember that one phrase. Remember the families.
The average American family does not wake up every morning worrying if their son or daughter survived another day in a foreign war-torn country. Our next speaker is a Gold Star mother. Her son, Major Michael Green, was killed in Afghanistan in 2008. Ladies and gentlemen, Gold Star mother, Jane Green.
Good evening. Being a Gold Star mother is something no one ever wishes for. When the two men walk up to your door, life as you knew it is over. You will have a place in your heart that never quite heals. It will be there with you as long as you're alive. My son, Major Michael Green, our son, I'm sorry, his dad couldn't be here today, Casey E. Green, was killed by an IED in Afghanistan, January 7th, 2008. If you go to the National Cemetery, you will see on lots of tombstones, forever in our heart. Us Gold Star families know that very well. When we lose someone, they are not gone. They are forever in our heart. The monument we have today is such a beautiful replica of forever in our heart, and we're so appreciative of it as a Gold Star family. We thank so much everybody that worked so hard to put this together, and it was no small feat, I know. The campaign Michael died in was called Enduring Freedom. The freedom we endure today is because the people that serve, have served, and gave the ultimate sacrifice, and we will always be grateful.
Thank you, Jane. At this time, we've included a presentation for this dedication to give some familiarity to the Gold Star flag and a little bit of a history. The service flag was established in 1917 during the First World War and originally was called the Sons in Service flag. Each family was entitled to hang this flag in the window at home to indicate that they have an active member in service. The original flag had a blue star in the center, which stood for loyalty, sincerity, hope, pride, and justice. If the family member was killed in action, the blue star was overlaid with a gold star, identifying the loss and representing the sacrifice to the cause of liberty and freedom. These flags were displayed at homes and at businesses and were a daily reminder service member and the family who suffered the loss. Today we display the Gold Star flag so that we'll be reminded that there's a price being paid for the freedoms that we all enjoy, and in remembrance of the service member lost and of the sacrifices of the family. So at this time, I ask Gold Star Father Joey Roberts, Diane Moore, and Jane Green, if you would please come forward to receive and display the flag that represents all Gold Star families.
Just a star, a part of my heart that was broken in pieces by our loss. It's a symbol of sacrifice and honor that tells that my loved one's here no longer. It's not just a star, a part of my heart holds me to the memory of the one I do love, forever committed to keep the memory alive. I won't let it die. It's in the Gold Star. Oh, in the Gold Star. It's in the Gold Star. Oh, in the Gold Star. Oh, yeah, in the Gold Star. It's part of my heart. Oh, in the Gold Star.
That was just beautiful. Thank you so much. The Gold Star flag flies in memory of those who were lost and those who can only remember. The Gold Star flag will join the POW MIA flag later this afternoon, and it is posted in its permanent pole behind us here alongside the poles of the flags of our other services. Today we also have placed a wreath at the memorial to acknowledge the beauty of the lives that were lost and that they are not forgiven or forgotten. We ask each Gold Star family representative to come forward and lay their family's rose at the base of the wreath in recognition of their loss and of the sacrifice of the family. We're honored today to have our final speaker, Medal of Honor winner, Herschel Woodrow Woody Williams. Woody is from West Virginia, a retired United States Marine, and is the last surviving recipient of the Medal of Honor from the Battle of Iwo Jima in World War II. During the battle, Corporal Williams distinguished himself with actions that were above and beyond the call of duty, for which he was awarded the Medal of Honor. Landing on February 21st, 1945, Corporal Williams distinguished himself 2 days later when American tanks trying to open a lane for infantry encountered a network of reinforced concrete pillars and buried mines. Corporal Williams went forward with his 70-pound flamethrower to attempt the reduction of the devastating machine gun fire from their unyielding positions. Covered by only 4 riflemen, he fought for 4 hours under terrific enemy small arms fire and repeatedly returned to his own lines to prepare demolition charges and obtain serviced flamethrowers. He returned to the front, frequently to the rear of hostile emplacements, to wipe out one position after another. In addition to eliminating bunkers and pillboxes, he also eliminated a threat when he was charged by enemy riflemen who attempted to stop him with their bayonets. These actions occurred on the same day as the raising of the U.S. flag on the island's Mount Suribachi. Although Corporal Williams was not able to witness the event, he fought through the remainder of the 5-week-long battle and was wounded March 6th, for which he was awarded the Purple Heart. In September of 1945, he returned to the United States, where he was presented the Medal of Honor by President Harry S. Truman on October 5th, 1945, at the White House. After his retirement from the Marines, he served as the chaplain of the Congressional Medal of Honor Society for 35 years. During this time, Woody was the one who recognized that Gold Star families had not received the support and the recognition that they deserved for the sacrifice of their loved ones in the service of the country. It was his brainstorm to design a monument to let everyone in the country know that sacrifice and to make sure that the families are not forgotten. Only Woody can tell the story of the creation and building of these monuments and why they are so important to all of us. I'd like to say to Woody, the Gulf Coast Gold Star Family Monument and the project team is proud to report that your mission does in fact continue with this, your 59th Family's Monument. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to introduce 96 years young, World War II Medal of Honor, Herschel Woody Williams.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please be seated. This is not about me. It's about them. They are the reason we're here. This has been one of the most, I believe, emotional dedications that I have been to. It has stirred the heart of every person in this audience. We certainly want to thank all the Gold Star families for being here today. I wonder if I might ask that all of us stand while they remain seated so that we can pay our respect and honor to them for their sacrifice. Could we do that?
Thank you very much. You know, these things do not happen without others. It's others that make them happen. And today in this community, history is being created. It's adding history to this beautiful community. And it's by the efforts of others that make these memorials possible. We all know that the memorial will not eliminate the grief or the heartache. But perhaps it will serve as a place of peace and solace, that they will have a place to come to knowing that their loved one is not going to be forgotten. Without those in the community who have big hearts and are willing to exert the effort to make it happen, it would not take place. And there are always someone in every community who's willing to take on that role. And before I get into my remarks, I'd like to call my grandson, Chad Graham, up. And we want to recognize those who have made this all come about.
Thanks, sir. Once again, it is an honor and a blessing for us as a foundation to be a small part of these memorials across the nation. And someone asked earlier in conversation, which one's your favorite? Every single one is our favorite, because you as a community have chose to lead from the front, do the right thing, acknowledge the ultimate sacrifice of the loved ones of these wonderful Gold Star families, the treasure, the true treasure of our nation. With each one of these projects, we like to acknowledge and recognize honorary board members that really lead the project. As my grandfather mentioned, without that person to take that lead within their community, the community will not change. So today I would like to ask Diane Moore and Tessa Reddy to please join us at the podium. We have a special presentation.
It certainly is my pleasure to be able to put this medallion around their neck in respect and honor and tribute to them for what they have accomplished. I'd like to pick up just a little bit on what Jim said earlier, for the benefit of our youth primarily, but maybe for some adults also. As he mentioned, this all came about, and most folks in the United States of America have no idea where Gold Star really came from, or what it means, or why we have it. But as he mentioned, the folks would hang a small flag in their window to indicate that they had someone serving in the armed forces of our country, and it was a flag similar to this. It was a blue flag, so that people in the community would know that that home had somebody in the war. And then if that individual sacrificed their life and were not coming home, then they would take the gold star and hang it over the blue to indicate my loved one is not coming home. In World War II, many homes had more than one flag, some 5 and 6. The most I have ever encountered was one family that had 9 loved ones in World War II at the same time. My mother had 3 hanging in her window because 3 of us were serving. I was in the Pacific and the other 2 were in Europe. Fortunately, those blue stars never turned to gold because we all got to come back home. For many years, Gold Star mothers were reasonably recognized through many communities of our country. Yet in many other communities, nothing. And Gold Star mothers were never recognized at all. But strange as it may seem, no one ever mentioned the name of Gold Star Dad. I spent 33 years in veterans counseling, and part of my job was dealing with and servicing those who had lost loved ones in the armed forces. During all those many, many years, Gold Star, the wording Gold Star never came up. And certainly the loved ones other than Gold Star Mother in most communities was never mentioned. The reason these monuments really exist today primarily is because of a Gold Star Dad. I had been invited to speak to a group in Parkersburg, West Virginia of senior citizens. Of course, I was one, so I felt at home. But they assigned me the topic. What is our responsibility as a citizen of this great country to this great country? Do we have any obligation as a citizen of America? It was a tough subject. But as I was trying to relate to them, we do have a responsibility. You know, I think of 35% in West Virginia getting out on the day to vote, when in areas where they've never had that privilege, they turn out 80 or 85%. That's the sort of thing I was mentioning to them as our responsibility as a citizen of this great country. As I look back over the group, I saw several gray-haired ladies in the group. And I wondered, the thought went through my mind, do we have Gold Star mothers here? That's the first time in all the speeches that I'd made, the appearances that I'd made, that I ever thought that thought. So I asked the question, if we have Gold Star mothers in the group, and would you please raise your hand? And several hands went up. And we certainly paid respect and honor to them for their sacrifice. When this talk was over, everybody left the hall except one individual, one man, sitting just 3 or 4 rows back. And he was sitting there with his head down, and I couldn't imagine why he stayed. So I said to him, "Sir, is there something I can do to help you?" And I got no response from him. So I had a briefcase with me, and I was putting stuff back in my briefcase. And he came walking toward me. It was a wooden floor, so I heard his steps. And I turned to face him. And when I did, he was standing there with tears rolling down his cheeks. And the only thing he said to me was, "Dads cry too." I had about a 2-hour drive back home that afternoon, or that evening. And I thought we must do something in our state of West Virginia to pay tribute to the families of 11,434 names that are in a granite memorial on our Capitol grounds to honor the families of those whose names are listed on that monument. We had never done anything in our state to ever recognize those losses and those families. And it was at that point in time that I decided we must do something, and I was on a veterans committee at that point of time. We were building a brand new veterans state cemetery, and we were trying to decide where we were going to put the flagpole and the administrative building and all that stuff, and we're meeting every 2 weeks. And at the next meeting, I said to that group that we must do something to honor those loved ones. And as many of you know, that sometimes when you open your mouth and stick your foot in it, why, you get the job of doing it. Like you and you. Does happen, doesn't it? And of course they said, "Well, that's a great idea. We like your idea. So what do you want to do? Design something." So that's where it came from. We know that every loss causes grief, also causes questions, to which there is no known answer. A father one evening, watching television, and a knock came upon the door. Many of you here have experienced that knock. It happens when there is a loss in our armed forces. But he writes, and I quote him, "This is how it's been since you left us, and how it is today." It was Monday, December 11, 2006, 7:30 p.m. when the knock came upon the door, and I thought, it must be UPS. I thought delivering the Marine Corps flag that you promised to send us at Christmas time. But at the door were 2 Marines dressed in dress blues. One said, "Are you Mr. the father of Corporal?" Immediately I knew why they were there. And I wanted to scream, "No! Go away!" But I whispered, "Yes. We regret to inform you." But before he could finish, I asked, "Is our son dead?" He continued, "We regret to inform you that your son was killed in action in Iraq." And again I asked, hoping for a different answer. "There must be some mistake. Are you sure?" There was an expression of regret and gentle warning that we should not cling to hope. "There is no mistake," he said. As we dedicate these memorials around over this great country in which we call home, many loved ones have said to me, "Now I know my loved one will never be forgotten." "59 communities in 44 of our states have done what this community is doing today. There are 62 other communities around this country in the process somewhere, doing the very thing that has been accomplished here. This monument is not just for today, but it honors those of the past, those of the present, and God forbid, those of the future. I have had many honors in my life, most of which I feel I was not entitled. But to be a part of this program and to have the pleasure of meeting such great, great people has been the greatest honor that I have ever received. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Woody. And now we come to the part of the ceremony that officially unveils the monument to the public. I would like to ask the following people to join me to help remove the cover, some of which might be surprised. But Woody, of course, will be here. Let's ask Woody to step back up. Major Gillage, the Keesler Federal Board of Directors, Andy Swager, Chad Graham, Mike Leonard, Diane Moore, and Mike King. If you would, please come forward.
How are you?
If tomorrow the things were gone, I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. Across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, from New York to LA, there's still pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that we're proud to be an American, where at least we know we're free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. I'll proudly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. I'll proudly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
Well, if that wasn't something, I don't know what else would be. That was incredible. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the unveiling of the monument means it now belongs to all. Thanks for all that came out today. Special thanks to Keesler Federal Credit Union, the City of Biloxi, Harrison County, the Foundation, all of our volunteers, Amy Clute, Tyler Coates, Quinn Chastain, who are our bagpipe players today, Chris Moore, the Gulf Coast Wind Ensemble. Please come forward and view both sides of this monument and visit with the Gold Star families and thank them for their sacrifices. We have refreshments over here on the side, so please stay and meet some of these Gold Star families. And thanks to all of our veterans for their service in our great country. Thank you.